Hello, I am Lewis, as I've already mentioned, and we just saw the results of what can happen when you are not safe or take the proper precautions to remain safe on the roadways. I'm an instructor, former DOT officer and driver with United States, talking about the importance of safety and your pre-trips. Let's face it, we do not want to end up like this. This is preventable. In summary, what we're going to talk about is everything that was discussed in modules before. Starting off with your PTIs. Your PTIs, which are pre-trip and post-trip, are extremely important. They are the difference between possible life or death. That is why it is very important that you utilize the 15 minutes required by law to conduct your inspections. Keep in mind that the beginning of your shift, your first 15 minutes, should be devoted solely to your pre-trip inspection. Use all 15 minutes. Check your tires. Use your air pressure gauge. If in doubt, use your tread depth gauge. Touch your tires, feel them, inspect them. Just looking at them is not an appropriate way of checking tires. Deficiencies can exist without being able to see it. That is why touching, rubbing your hand along the sidewalls or along the tread depth itself, just real quickly, can make a huge difference on determining the status of your tires. Pay very close attention to your sidewalls. Make sure that there's no cuts. Make sure that there's no bulges. Make sure that there's no radial or metal showing through. Your life and the life of others depend on it. Make sure your air pressure is appropriate as explained in the modules. You should have 120 on the steers, 105 on the rest of the tires. Anything below that is putting your life and the life of others in jeopardy. So how do we do this? We do this by taking the time to do the inspections properly. Don't go up and just kick the tires. Don't just sit there and look at them and say, yep, they're fine. Because that is a good, sure way of not just getting in an accident, but it could result in a major blowout, which causes a breakdown, which causes loss of time, loss of money, and could lead to violations through DOT inspections, all of which are 100% preventable. Now, tire blowouts can still happen even with a proper PTI and tire inspection, but we can do our best to make sure that we've done everything humanly possible to make sure that those tires are as safe as possible. Meaning the only way they're going to blow out is a defect with a tire that you cannot see or some sort of road hazard that has caused them. How else do we prevent incidents that could result in your truck looking like what you just saw? Is paying attention to the way you drive. Defensive driving. Cannot express how important that is, particularly when you are driving up to 80,000 pounds of vehicle that cannot stop on a dime. Practicing defensive driving should be the goal of every professional driver, and it is very much mandatory for this company. Meaning you do not tailgate. You do not get into road rage situations. You are scanning the traffic ahead of you. You are using your mirrors. And you are keeping your speed at posted limits. All these things are there for safety barriers to protect you, to protect the company, to protect innocent lives on the highway. Because if you get angry and you do not adhere to proper defensive driving and you cause an accident, there's a good chance that it's not just you that is going to be involved. These trucks, it doesn't take much to put them off out of control, which could wind up taking out several other vehicles, namely people who are just minding their own business. And if it was a result of road rage, now you have to deal with possible criminal charges. And right now the news is very, very strong against the professional driver, particularly when it comes to the death toll that is occurring by being aggressive drivers, by being involved in road rage incidents, and not allowing yourselves opportunity for escape. Always make sure you have an avenue of escape. Along with this, we must now think about how to plan our trips so we can get to our destination safely. Doing trip planning is absolute paramount to our profession. GPS has made things very simple. GPS by itself, though, should not be your sole way of planning your trip. I recommend getting yourself a United States road atlas, a current, up-to-date road atlas for truck drivers. There are some apps out there that can also be beneficial to help your planning. Plan ahead. Know your route. Study your route before you even leave on your trip. Look for possible delay areas such as road construction. If there's another route you can take that takes you away from that road construction, take it, as long as you make sure that it is not a truck restricted area. Unfortunately, truck restricted zones are becoming very popular around the United States. Many roads that used to be open for everybody are now becoming closed to commercial traffic. So make sure you are paying attention to your areas. Become very knowledgeable in each state you're going into, the laws pertaining to your weight, to your height, because there are many bridges, overpasses that are very short. You've all probably seen YouTube videos of trucks hitting these low-hanging overpasses. Don't become YouTube famous for making a mistake like that. Pay attention to your railroad crossings. There are a lot of high-centered railroad crossings out there that trying to take a truck over, high centers your truck. You wind up again on YouTube eventually by your truck getting hit by a train. Not a good look. Stay within communication of your company, whether that be your dispatch, your safety department, your direct supervisor. Always be available. Don't be one of these drivers that, oh, I'm in a bad mood, I don't want to talk to nobody, I'm going to ignore that call from dispatch, or I'm going to ignore that call from safety. Because they might have a change of direction for you. They might have advisements of certain things going on in your route that you need to be aware of. Which then leads me into what different things can affect my route. Well, again, weather. Ice, rain, sleet, snow, wind. These items are absolutely detrimental to the truck driver. A lot of truck drivers have problems just driving on dry, clear conditions. You add those ice and sleet and mud and wind, just makes things worse. Always be aware, there are many apps out there that can help you keep track of windy conditions ahead of you, keep track of storms and what kind of storms those will bring, whether it just be rain, whether it be snow, a blizzard, ice, so you can avoid it. You can plan around it. You could take a different route. It might take a little bit longer, but you'll still get there in one piece. Nothing worse than being on a run that you could have avoided. You get stuck in a blizzard. It is absolutely terrible. Driving in windy conditions. Take it from one who's been there. I cannot stand the wind. You cannot see it. You cannot prevent it. You cannot, there's nothing you can really do. And if you're not careful, you literally are along for the ride because you're driving a huge sail. If you've got wind gusts of anything of up over 20 miles per hour, you're in a bad spot, particularly if you're empty. So look for other areas. If you know you're on your route that they're forecasted strong gusty winds, see if there's another route that will take you away from those winds, or slow down until those winds pass. It'd be much better for you to arrive late due to a detour than not to arrive at all, because you got blown over, you slid off the roadway, you got stuck in a blizzard, got stuck in the mud. Always, always, always plan. There is no excuse for not planning. This is not just from an aspect of operations, but from an aspect of safety. You are the ultimate responsibility for the safe transportation of the product in which you are hauling for. If you cannot provide for that, then that affects on you as a driver, that affects on the company, and shippers and receivers can look elsewhere, which has that trickle-down effect that hurts everybody. In these modules, we look to really help spread the word. We are open for dialogue. We want to help all those that we can. So if you have any other questions, feel free to make comments, call us, and we'd be more than happy to help you. Take care.